Hey, I'm ChristopherJMUA and welcome back to my channel. Unless you've never been here, of course, I'm so glad you stopped by. Today, we are reviewing the Indi Cosmetics Bringin' Da Funk collection. And you guys, this palette that's in this collection is phenomenal. If you like color, you're gonna love this palette. And within the order I placed, I also got a brush set, as well as some lashes and a bunch of liners, like a lot. So if you want to see what I got in this box from Indi Cosmetics, you want to see what the full Bringin' Da Funk collection consists of, and see the look I create with the Bringin' Da Funk palette, then stay exactly where you are, keep doing exactly what you're doing, and keep on watching. Okay guys, first I want to let you know that I need coffee. No, that's not what I want to let you know. I actually want to let you know that Indi Cosmetics, if you didn't know, is a black-owned brand that I discovered when I created my full face of black-owned indie brands video. I'll leave it linked right up here if you want to see just some of the products and brands that I featured in that video. There were a lot of really great products, as well as some that I've added into my normal routine now, which is pretty awesome. But I found them during research for that video, and they had this really awesome green brush set that I really wanted, but they were sold out for so long. So I just kept keeping tabs on them on their Twitter account and just checking over and over again, trying to get that green brush set. And then one day on Twitter, they announced that they were having a giveaway. And I was so excited. And if I hadn't been creeping on the brand, I probably wouldn't have noticed that they were even having a giveaway. But I did, I entered, and I won. And what it won me was a credit on their website. And this collection is what I used my credit for. So this collection overall was actually $100 for everything that I got, which you're about to see. And originally, all I really got to use in the video of the full face of black-owned indie brands was the super cute mirror. And I was so bummed that I didn't get to use any of the products that I wanted to use, like the brush set. Despite the fact that the mirror is the cutest mirror I have and I love it so much, I do now have a brush set. So I'm really excited to open this and get into it. I also used their Heartthrobs palette on an Instagram live previously, so I know that their eyeshadow formula is phenomenal. It is really good. So let's go ahead and open this box up and see what's inside. First and foremost, we have the Bringin' Da Funk drumsticks. I love that they're called drumsticks, but that's just the name of their brushes. Now on their website, which is indiecosmetics.com, I will have that linked down below so you can check it out if you want to. Not affiliated at all. This is just me using my giveaway stuff. It shows the Bringin' Da Funk drumsticks brush set is $18. Let's see how many brushes you get with this. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 face brushes. And I love when brands put these little nets around their brushes, because I keep these nets and reshape my brushes after every time I use them and wash them, which is every time I use them. It really helps hold their shape. So if you get these on your brushes, just hold on to them. Once they dry, pop them back in these. They'll be fine. So it looks like we got a powder brush, blush brush, contour brush, and one of these brushes. Love that. And then our smaller brushes consist of what looks like, maybe this could actually be like a concealer brush, but it could also be a flat crease blender brush. That's super soft. Wow, that's really soft. I like that. I didn't feel the powder brush. Oh my gosh, this is like satin or something. It just makes me want to go back to bed. Has anybody else been super lazy every chance they get lately? I don't know if it's COVID or if it's me not working as much right now or COVID or whatever, but I have no drive at the moment. I just want to eat Cap'n Crunch, watch Netflix, and pet my dog. You know? The next brush looks like it's a fluffy pointed blender brush, which is always nice, especially for the crease, winging out some eyeshadow shapes. Oh, these are so soft. Then we got a flat definer looking brush. Looks like it'd be great to pack on shadow or even to apply some eyeshadow base. That would be nice. Then we got a pointed detail brush. These are perfect for like the dark colors right in the crease. You can really get detail and nice and firm in there with it. Then we have an even smaller pointed detail brush, which is also great for the same thing, but even more detailed, like super tiny details. You can like really get in there with this. And we have another flat oval brush. This too would be great for pressing shadow onto the lid or glitter or eyeshadow base to cut the crease, what have you. And then, last but not least, we have an angled, I was gonna call it a flat brush, but it's not actually flat. I've never seen an angled brush like this with a curve in it like that. That's really interesting. Next we have this baton cleaner is what it was called. I don't know exactly what a baton cleaner is or what that means, but I'm gonna call it a brush cleaner because it is definitely what you put like in the sink to like, you know, clean your brushes off. Anyway, this is $2.50 on their website. Then we have the Bring In Da Funk lashes in the style Boogie. These look like the cutest ones to me. They are very large and in charge, they are very large and in charge and very, very fluffy, blown out. But they have enough spacing in them that I think you'll still be able to see looks through them really well. So I do like the style of these lashes. Then we have our water activated liners. I'm trying so hard not to drop all of these. These are so awesome. I love water activated liners. Any ones that I can get my hands on anyway. It looks like this collection came with 9 different shades and they are $7 each. Looks like within the Bring In Da Funk collection, we've got Blackout, which looks like black. We've got Neon Yellow, it's neon yellow. The name says the color. Then we have Neon White. Don't really understand that. I guess just really white. Then we have Neon Pink, Neon Blue, Neon Green, Neon Orange, Matte Red, and Neon Purple. And then last, but absolutely certainly not the least, we have the Bring In Da Funk eyeshadow palette. This palette is $24 and you just wait. Oh, you just wait. No, you know what? I'm going to zoom you in so that you can get a better look. So this is the front cover of the Bring In Da Funk eyeshadow palette. It's got some cool like graffiti splatter paint looking stuff, some equalizer bars on the side here, the logo of Indi Cosmetics, and then let's look at the actual eyeshadow palette itself. I think there's a protective sheet. There is, but it's taped to it. So there's the palette. Oh man, do you see how bright and beautiful this palette is? I'm so excited to use this, you have no idea. But before I use it, I am gonna go ahead and zoom you guys in so I can show you the swatches. The first shade is the shade Techno. Disco. Reggae. Jazz. Boogie. R&B. Funk. Punk. Emo. Electro. Pop. And hip hop. Okay, and that is every swatch from the Indi Cosmetics Bring In Da Funk eyeshadow palette. You guys know, as always, I will insert photos of the swatches, one with flash here, and one without flash here. And here is our video close-up of every single swatch. The shades in this palette are pressed so hard. It was really difficult to get swatches out of them because I kept having to like dig into them. The shade Reggae really didn't build up hardly at all. It was like a mask of color rather than full blown out pigment. But the pigment that I got from the other shades that built up to swatches, they are so bright and like punchy. I'm really excited to get into this. I have no clue what I'm gonna do though, at all. As per usual, if you've never been here, hi, I don't know what I'm gonna do. I guess I'm just gonna start putting color down and see what happens because I don't know where I'm going with this. I'm gonna go ahead and start with the shade Reggae because it was the one that I thought I had the most of a problem out of while swatching, so I want to test it on the eye and see if that changes on the eye. I did go ahead and prime my eye using my P. Louise base in the shade Rumor 01, as always, and I'm going to use this bigger fluffy brush from the Bring to Funk brush collection, with the drumsticks, sorry, and let's see if I can build this very hard pressed shade up at all. Okay, I kind of dug into it and I really didn't get anything off, like a little bit, but that much. I think that one might have been pressed a little bit too hard. Who knows, maybe it was a super powdery shade that they had to press that hard because it was too powdery. You never really know whenever it comes to the formula. I do like the fact that majority of these shades are matte, but that there is still a little bit of shimmer. The only shimmer shades that I saw in it are Punk and R&B. And R&B isn't really even shimmery, it's just kind of like a satin, I guess. And I'm just trying to build this shade up in the crease. It is going to take a very long time though. Alas, I'm now going to use this teeny tiny detail brush and go into the shade Emo. Now this shade is not pressed super tightly like Reggae was. Like I'm actually getting a slight bit of kickback in the pan. So I'm going to use this a lot more sparingly, but I'm going to go into the inner corner with this shade first. I'm just going to continue pulling this shade up and into the crease, and I'm going to bring it over into Reggae and start to blend it into Reggae. But that's not all. I'm also going to carry it up over and around Reggae and continue out this tail that I kind of have going on from the front to the outer edge. Okie dokie, I now have a teal and a green eye. So let's add to that. I'm gonna go in with the shade Disco now, and I'm gonna use that to blend out the shade Emo that I put on the upper portion. I'm essentially gonna go from the teal to the green to yellow. And my yellow will be like my brow bone highlight, like my inner corner highlight. It'll be like my light moment. Now that I have all of the greens and yellows built up accordingly, I'm gonna add a little bit of blue in. I think I'm gonna go in with the shade R&B, and I'm gonna use this, I wish these had names on them, but this oval fluffy-ish brush. I think I'm gonna be able to use it like a crease blender brush since it has that C shape with it and it's diffused a little bit. But we're gonna see if I can blow that out in the crease and deepen up the teal green Reggae shade and see if it works. Wow, this blue is beautiful. It makes my heart happy. I love it so much that I think I'm actually going to add more of it than I originally thought I was going to add. Might even tie it into the wing shape. Look at me living life on the edge. This blue actually builds up a lot faster and a lot easier and a lot more pigmented than I thought it was going to. I really like this now. I was already liking it, but the intensity of it and just the blend of everything and how soft and seamless it is, it's awesome. I really like it. It's just so pretty. Anyway, this is it for the crease work. Now I need to move on to the lid work. And for the lid, as I said before, I am going to be cutting the crease. So I'm going to go ahead and do that off camera and I will be right back. So I'll see you in just a second. As you can see, the crease is now cut. And I am going to use this little flat C-shaped type brush, and I'm going to go into the shade Hip Hop. I'm going to use that to fill in this inner corner area and try to get it as sharp as I can. That is so fun already, and I just started. It's so cute. Okay, now that I've built up Hip Hop, which is like the whiter orange on the inner corner area, I'm gonna go in with Funk now on the outer edge, and that is a fun shade. I was gonna use Funk all over the lid for the cut crease, but I wanted to give a little bit of variation on the lid. I am testing the palette after all, so, you know, why not use all the shades I can? Oh, but man, this shade, oh, look at that. Oh, it's so bright. I love it. Oh, it's like fire. It's so pretty. And now for the outermost edge of the cut crease, I'm gonna go in with the shade Electro. And for that, I'm gonna be using this Morphe X Jeffree Star JS10 brush. I forgot to tell you guys, for the shade Funk, I used the JS11. Okay guys, this is it for the shadow on the crease. Now before I go in with any of these 9 amazing looking liners, I am going to go ahead and do the same thing on the other eye and do all of my face makeup, get everything lined up and symmetrical as much as I can anyway, so that I can make sure that the liner gets wet and used for both eyes at the same time, so I'm not like wetting it, letting it dry, re-wetting it, so on and so forth, etc., etc. And I will be right back. So give me just a couple of milliseconds, more like 3 hours for me, and I will see you guys very soon. Now that I've gotten this eye copied over to this eye, let's go ahead and finish off the lower lash line before I move in to eyeliner. So for the lower lash line, I'm gonna begin by taking this Morphe E36 brush, little tiny detailed brush like that, and I'm gonna go into the shade Jazz. I thought this pink color was just so pretty, and it's another one that I've been really wanting to dive into aside from Funk. You know, if I wasn't recording any kind of video or review with this palette and I just picked it up to use it, I would have gone in with just Funk and Jazz all over the lid and put some pretty little shimmer that I had, like a ColourPop Super Shock or something like that, just on top of it, and I think that would have been so gorgeous. But that's okay, because this is also so gorgeous. So I'm gonna take Jazz and just start on the inner half of my lower lash line and just lay that color down there. Oh, sorry. Lay that color down there pretty gently. I don't want a whole bunch of fallout. And I'm gonna go about halfway down the lower lash line. I can't believe this. This pink is on top of concealer and it's still super saturated and pigmented. This palette is great. And now I'm gonna take this e.l.f. x J.Kissa J1 brush. It's a flat brush, but it has a really wide diffused edge to it. And now I'm gonna go into the shade Electro again. And this is where I'm gonna start tying in the outer crease wing section with the lower lash line. Is it bad that I'm kind of changing my mind about using the liner for this look? Because I really like this look just as it is. This is so good. I love this so much. Okay, the next thing I'm gonna do is use this Morphe, I don't know, this really tiny Morphe flat brush, whatever it's called. Now I'm gonna go to the shade Punk, and I'm gonna use Punk on my brow bone. Oh, that is perfect on top of that yellow. Woo, that was meant to be. And you know what, just cause I can, I'm also gonna use the shade Punk as my inner corner highlight. I'm gonna use the Morphe 431. It's a pointed inner corner highlight brush, we're gonna call it. And I'm just gonna scoop up Punk, and we're gonna plop it right down in the inner corner. Ooh, you know what? It's very chunky, there's a lot of pigment on the brush, and I'm scared. So as a just in case, I'm gonna take my Wicked Artistry Violacious Mist Me setting spray and just boop the brush, just to make sure there's not gonna be a whole bunch of fallout that falls everywhere. Good golly, Miss Molly. Ugh, that is fantastic. Ooh, it's so icy and reflective and beautiful. It's official, I'm obsessed. This palette, this look, it is bringing the funk. And I guess I am gonna do liner, even though I said I didn't think I was going to. And the only appropriate liner to do is an ombre from neon yellow to neon orange. That's just, you know, it's what I gotta do. It's the only thing that's gonna fit this look. Or the green. The green would be cute, because it would be like connecting the crease. No, yellow to orange. Yeah, let's do that. Oh man, I hope these liners are good, because I don't want to destroy all of this work that I've done. I'm very proud of this so far, and I'm so afraid that it's gonna break it and mess it all up. But here we go. So I'm gonna start by using this Morphe M250-S teeny tiny itty bitty little liner brush, and I'm gonna use the neon yellow with this one. The formula might be a little bit wet, but it's actually working really well. It's not skipping too bad. It's laying down nicely. It's opaque. I am making a mess and getting it all over my lashes, but that's not the liner's fault. So now let me do the yellow on the other side, then we'll move in with the orange. And now I shall attempt to go in with the Sigma Small Eyeliner E10 brush, which is much, much bigger than the previous Morphe brush, and use the neon orange shade and see if I can make this an ombre wing. I do really, really like that yellow like that. But let's see. Ooh, this brush gets so sharp. You know, I wonder why there wasn't a liner brush in the Bring Into Funk collection if it had a bunch of liners. Not that I care, I mean, I have plenty of other brushes that I can use for it. It's curious, very curious. Okay, moment of truth. Now, something to note is that for me personally, I have very textured eyelids when it gets to the inner corner, only if I layer up products. So usually what I do whenever I cut my crease and whenever I put on a liner is I will take a Q-tip with a point on it, like this exactly, and I will use some micellar water or some makeup remover of some kind, and I'll clean off that area of my lid so that I can build up a nice clean layer of new product instead of just stacking layer on layer, because that accentuates the texture even more. And I forgot to do that before the liner, so there is some texture that's already happening. I've noticed that with just about any water activated liner, there typically is some kind of texture that I'm gonna get on my eyelids, just like I'm getting with the yellow on my inner corner. I don't know if you can see it on the monitor, but I can definitely see it in person, and there's not really much that I can do about it now. So it just kind of is what it is at this point. Hello, Editing Chris here. It turns out that I guess I wasn't recording for the end and the beginning of this section right here, but all I did is I finished out the liner and then I switched to using the lashes, and I took the lashes out of the box. And I realized just now that I hadn't been recording that, so I thought I'd jump in and give you a little insert and let you know what's actually going on so you weren't completely confused. Now back to your regularly scheduled programming. So I needed to cut about 3 braids worth of lashes off of the lashes. I just now realized too that these lashes actually have colored tips, which I didn't know whenever I got them. The longer segments of lashes are completely normal colored. They're like black, maybe even a lighter ashy black. But then the second segment of lashes that are shorter, that don't lift quite as much, end in like a yellowy orange tone. I think they're actually gonna be kind of perfect for this look without even intending to be. So now I'm gonna go ahead and curl my lashes, put on my Beauty Bakery eyelash icing, and put on these lashes. And once I finish that, I'll be back with the finished look. So I'm gonna do all that off camera, and I'll see you guys in just a second. Lashes are now on, and this is completely the finished look. What do you guys think? I love this. I think this palette is one of my favorite palettes because it pretty much offers you the rainbow. There is Roy G. Biv within this. You just gotta kind of finesse it a little bit to make it exactly Roy G. Biv, but it's pretty much Roy G. Biv. This palette is pigmented, it blends well, it performs well, the shades show up. Reggae was weird. I don't know why that one didn't quite work the way that all the other ones worked. Obviously it did build up, it's there. It just was pressed much harder and took a lot more time to build up. But it ended up beautiful. This look is beautiful. Everything worked perfectly together. I had no other problems aside from that. The liners, the 2 that I used, worked great. They work really just like any other water activated liner that I've used, but the range that came with this collection is insane. 9 liners all at once, pretty good set of liners, if I do say so myself. I really, really wish that I would have cleaned off the spot that the liner was gonna go, just so I didn't have so much texture, because I really don't think there would have been this much texture if I would have done that. So I don't want to completely judge the liner by itself, just to be fair. You know, I don't want to say that it's super textured within the formula, in case it is just the fact that I had a lot of buildup. So I'll give a better update in the future for the liners themselves, but I love them so far. The brush set, I mean, I used every brush plus some. I really like those brushes. They're super, super soft. The quality seems like they're there. Then the lashes, They're super cute. I have no problem with them. The lash length is a little long for my taste. I mean, they touch my brow when I look up. You can see that happening, but I can always cut them down if I'm not a fan of that. You guys can always cut down lashes. If you like the style of the lashes and you just don't want that length, you can just cut them shorter. I do like how the shorter lashes that are on these lashes mix perfectly with my own lashes, like they're the same length, and then the longer lashes are the ones that just go up to my brow. So I can cut these and finesse them kind of how I'd want to and pretty much make my own custom lashes, which is kind of cool in my opinion. But all in all, I really enjoyed the entire collection. Everything that I got, I liked it, and I'm going to continue to use it and play with all the products just to give them more of a shot, more of a chance, and see just kind of how they perform over time as well. So I liked them for sure. Definitely would recommend Indi Cosmetics, as I have already. And I think the Bringin' Da Funk collection is a really great addition to their brand and their line of products, because this bright palette is a color lover's dream. I can tell you for sure. But that's it from me, guys. I want to know, more importantly, what you guys think. Do you like the palette? Do you like the collection overall? What kind of vibe do you get from it? Do you like all the bright colors, or are you one of those that you see all these colors and you're like, no, not for me. Give me my browns. Let me know in the comments below. You guys know that I love to have a conversation with you. And if you didn't know, hey, I'd love to have a conversation with you. After you leave that comment, if you liked this video, it'd be really awesome if you left me a like, you know, a little thumbs up down there. It does let me know that you like my content, but it also lets YouTube know that you like my content, and it insinuates good quality content that they might want to push out on the home feed. That'd be really, really cool. Also, if you like this look and you want to see more looks like them, you can follow me on Instagram, Twitter, and Snapchat. My username is the same for everything. It's just ChristopherJMUA. And if you gain nothing out of this video, if you gain nothing out of any of my videos, please at least gain this. And that is to always remember and to never forget that you are absolutely beautiful. And I love you guys. Bye!